Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with this awesome 12 by 12 layout. I love how this layout came together. I have absolutely 100% scrap lifted this layout from Lilith Eccles, and I think she did it for a design piece for Alton New, I want to say. I'll link it down below anyway so you can see the original, because while I love this, it's not my original idea, so Lilith needs all the credit for how this turned out. I used the awesome February kit from Kidaholic Kits, and I'll link Kidaholic Kits down below if you are interested in a kit club, particularly if you're Australian, because this is an Australian based kit club, and you know, they can be hard to find in Australia, and Steph and the Kidaholic Kit Club is awesome. I am on the design team, but also I wouldn't stay on the design team if I didn't love it. And I used mainly, this is the Cocoa Vanilla collection, the new collection, which is maybe More Than Words. Does that sound right? More Than Words? Anyway, it's a new Cocoa Vanilla collection, which I love, and I totally love how this layout turned out. So make sure you keep watching to see the process. So here I am with the voiceover for this process video. So as you can see, I'm using two photos. I mean, you already saw the layout if you watched my introduction, but to get the circle shape to put my stars on, what I did was just traced around a plate that I had at home in pencil, and then I just used I'm just getting it now to tell you what it is, a Jetstream Uniball 0.7 pen in black. It's a ballpoint pen. My partner really likes them because he's left-handed and they don't smudge. So I may have borrowed one for my craft room because I like journaling with it. And I just drew messy sort of circle following that shape. And I'm just now rubbing out the pencil line because I didn't want that to be able to be seen in the layout. So obviously I wanted it to be messy. I could have just freehand it and it probably would have been okay, but I thought it would be nice to have, I guess, that line from the plate to follow. Now I used the two smallest stars in my set of star dies. These were originally from Stampin' Up, but you know, you can't buy them from Stampin' Up anymore, so you can get them from anyone who does star shaped dies. Better yet if you have a punch, because running that through the Big Shot was a pain in the behind. It took me a long time but I did it, and I got lots of different patterns and I cut them out. So you can see here I'm just laying out the large stars sort of around the layout and making sure the patterns, you know, are kind of mixed up and stuff, and then I'm going to stick them down. Now I'm not going to have you sit through me sticking down all of these stars. I just wanted to make sure that my photos were sort of going to sit nicely within those clusters, and obviously where I needed to pop up stars and where I needed to leave them flat. So I've got kind of three levels of dimension. I've got flat, obviously stuck straight down, and then I've got Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and then some foam adhesive, which is a little bit higher. So there's sort of three different levels. So you can see I've stuck down all the large hearts there. And now I'm going to come back in with some of the smaller hearts, and again I don't show you all of this process, but rather than put them all down I just went straight for the sticking. So you can see I've stuck down about half of the hearts, and then I decided before I went any further that I really wanted to back my photos and stick my photos down, because then I could cluster sort of the rest of the hearts around the photos. I didn't want to have to come back and sort of try and fit my photos in around what I'd already done. So I'm just backing the photos. I wanted a darker backing for these because I don't know actually why, because there's no other real dark stuff on the layout, and I probably should have backed them in a lighter cardstock, but I didn't. I backed them in a dark backing. I think originally I thought I might be using a black title, but I didn't. I pulled out some tissue paper. I thought the blue might go, but it was a bit bright. And didn't really match, so I went with the white tissue paper. I just wanted to soften up the photos a little bit because I knew I wasn't going to be doing much embellishing to this layout. In fact, no embellishing to this layout other than the stars. They were embellishment enough. So I hope you're all well. It's been ages since I've done a video, and I apologise for that. Yeah, it's been a crazy start to the year actually, but I am back. I am scrapping. I am enjoying it. Yeah, So this is my first, I think my first process video on the channel this year. I've done some other videos, but they were sort of walkthroughs and things like that. Jess has done most of the process videos so far this year, so it is time for me to lift my game and be back. And I'm back. So I'm sticking down these photos, stuck one straight flat, and then I'm going to pop the other one up using some foam. So just doing that, and then I'm going to cluster the rest of the hearts onto the circle and around the photos. So again, you're not going to watch me do that because that's pretty boring. I'm using, again, dimensionals, foam. I need to cut the foam squares that I have in half because they're too big to fit on the back of these tiny hearts, and I just use, I go nuts and I stick a lot of stars down, as you can see. So I'm pretty much done now with the stars. I'm going to put the rest of the stars away. I didn't use them all, but I used most of them, and I was going to use them all, but I felt like that might have been a bit too much. So I've put those away, and now I'm bringing out some of the embellishments in ephemera, not ephemera, but the thickers that came in the kit this month, the Kidholic kits for February, and we got these set of thickers here, the word thickers. What are they? Let me just check for you, because I don't know off the top of my head what they are. In fact, I don't even know where they are. No, I can't show you because I have no idea where they are. I will find them again, I am sure, but right now they are not easily accessible. So I was umming and ahhing about that word love, and it would have worked and looked lovely. But then I saw this adventure and the magic adventure, and because it's a photo of my mum reading a story with my nephew, and he loves storybooks, and he just loves books. I don't know, I just thought it was a cute title, and worked for this layout, so that's what I went with. I did have to pull up a couple of the stars and that were sticking on dimensionals or foam and put them flat on the layout, just so that I could make the title sit nicely. If I had have had an easy way to pop the title up, I would have done that, but I didn't, and so it looked better having the title stick flat onto the page rather than some of it sticking up and some of it flat. So I'm just doing that, and then that is basically done. Really, yeah, I know it was, it looks like a complicated layout. It isn't. These stickers also had stars, and so obviously I wanted to include them on the layout. I couldn't make this big one work, as you can see here. I'm like, nah, that's not going to work. It was just too big, but the smaller stars I did sprinkle around because I thought that, would help tie in the foam that we use in the title kind of around the rest of the layout. So that was just, that was a nice kind of way to be able to do that. I didn't know they had stars until I pulled them out, so that was handy. And now I'm just going with some mists. Again, I probably go a little bit overboard with the mists, but once it's dried, it actually looks pretty cool. So I use gold, I use a navy colour, not a navy colour, navy. I use blush, I think it's called, from Heidi Swapp Colour Shine, and I use a colour burst in, it's not orange, but the colour is orange, but it's not called orange. I'm just pointing out I had this huge splotch of the blush colour, and I was like, whew, thankfully that didn't land on my layout. So that is it. This is a layout done. I'm going to slow it down in a second and show you some close-ups, but I love how this one turned out. I've linked Lilith's original layout down below so you can see my original inspiration, but I hope you like it as much as I do. Loved coming back with you guys with this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye guys!